Good morning, everybody. Silas here again today, and it has been a crazy, and I mean crazy, last few days. I have bought a lot of really cool old trucks here lately, and so I'm going to show you guys those. And then I have a guy here right now. I thought he was coming out here just to buy one cab, but he ended up buying 20 cabs. So my plans for today just got changed. I want to take you around and show you the trucks that I bought, and I want to show you the trucks that I sold. This truck here, I really like this truck. I had big plans for this truck. I guess what I'll do first before I talk too much about it is I'll go ahead and play the video of when I got this truck. Here it is, 1966 Ford F100. I was at an auction Saturday buying some old trucks, and so this guy called me today and said, hey, I got this in my garage. I just bought this garage as property. I'm going to get rid of the garage and build a pond. So I want to get rid of this truck in here, and I know you buy trucks, so I want to sell it today. So I'm out here now. I went ahead and bought it. It is a very cool truck. Needs put back together, needs wired in, but a lot of the work has been done. It's got all new brakes, new radiator, new wheels and tires. The guy repainted it, clear coated it, did a patina paint job on it, put a new gas tank in it, put new dash parts in it. Yeah, it looks good out in the daylight. Yeah, it's a really cool piece. The top end of the engine's all rebuilt, brand new heads, new Edelbrock intake and carburetor, new fuel pump. I mean, just so much new stuff. New fuel tank, new brakes, new suspension. Got all the parts for it in here. Obviously, the converters don't go to it. I bought those from a guy earlier and didn't have any place to put them, so I just threw them in here for right now. I'll get them back out here in a little bit. But yeah, it's a really cool truck. I was going to put my logo on the door. Thought it was pretty neat, but the guy that's here buying my cabs right now, he saw it and he thought it was pretty neat too. So he went ahead and bought it from me. So it's going to go on to a new home. Next up is this old truck here. I've had this one for quite a while. I think you guys saw me when I bought this one. I think it was about 3-4 months ago, something like that. But the guy that's here, he decided he likes this cabin clip, so he went ahead and bought it from me. It's not in too bad a shape. It's got a little bit of rust in it, but it is a big window cab, and you don't see big window, big truck cabs, especially these stub nose. What are they called? LCF cabs, lower cab forward, something like that. Don't see them very often with the big back windows, so he's going to be buying that one as well. This truck here is a 1955. What's really cool about this one is it's the big back window. It's in really good condition. There's virtually no rust, just a little bit in the corners. This in here, I was at the yard stacking batteries one day, and a guy came in and he says, where do you sell your big trucks at? I've got one and I want to part it out and sell it and figure out what to do with it. And he says, I'd like to hopefully maybe make $1,000 on it. And I said, well, so you want $1,000 for it? And he says, well, yeah, I'd take $1,000 for it. And I said, well, I don't even need to see it. I'll buy it. He told me it was red, and I know it's a good wall art color, so I bought it. And when I got it, when I bought it anyway, I didn't know it was a big back window, and I didn't know it was this nice. And so then when I saw it after I had paid for it and my buddy went and got it for me, I was like, oh, wow, this is way too nice to cut up. And so the guy that's here today, he's actually buying this cab and front clip off of this one. He thought about buying the whole thing, but he's got a bunch of stuff he's buying, so he doesn't want to haul the whole chassis home. So he's just buying the cab and clip. Made some money on it, and I'll have the rest of it to scrap later. What we're going to do now is pull it up out of the field so we can cut the cab and clip off without burning the place down. This one rolls really easy, so I'll just drive in it and steer it, and Sean will pull us forward. No brakes, but we're not going to go very fast. These old trucks are kind of fun to drive. I've driven a couple of these. Yes, some more of these trucks he's buying as well, but I'll come back here later and show you all those. Some of them I just bought. Like these two cab forwards over here. I got both front clips, but I only have one hood. The orange one has a hood, the blue one doesn't have a hood. I just bought those yesterday, and they're both sold. The old 57 that I bought at the auction here a while back with the 348 in it, he's buying the cab and the front clip off of that one. Another guy's buying the 348 out of it. Oh, my door popped open. It doesn't latch very good. This old 58 or 59, I think it's a 58 there. He's buying the cab off of that one. He's buying the doors off of this old 49 or 50 GMC. And he's buying a few more of these, but I'll walk through and show those better here in a minute. the main goal for today is we want to get the cab and front clip off of this one. There's another one up here we want to get the cab and front clip off of. And then we're going to probably load up that 66 Ford truck. Yeah, this old 48 or 49 right here. We're going to get the cab and clip off of that one as well. Now this truck here, I have no clue what motor's in this. Like I said, I bought this truck without even seeing it. Just paid the guy for it and he gave me the title. So I guess when we get the front clip and the cab off of it, we'll know what motor's in it. We got 2 cabs and that truck loaded up. And now we've got 3 cabs here. We're not going to be able to get all these on there. We're for sure going to be able to get 1, maybe 2 in between that front cab and the truck on the back of his trailer. Then in addition to those 3 cabs, he bought the orange cab and front clip, and then he bought the brown cab and front clip as well. It's pretty simple really. We just put a tow strap through the doors, picks them right up. It doesn't crush the doors in or anything like that. You just got to be gentle. And when you're pulling them off the frame, you got to make sure everything's completely disconnected before you do it. Sean's pulling the bumper off of this truck here. He's just going to cut the frame at the very front. Makes it a little bit easier and quicker. That's a good looking load there. It just barely fit in there. About a 1/2 inch of clearance on the other side. So just about perfect. Couldn't have done it any better. Load it up. Going to sit in the shade for a minute, cool down. Then get it all strapped down. And then this load's good to go. And I'm not sure how many more loads we're going to have, but quite a few. Strap down and head it out. It's a good looking load of trucks. Yeah, we just got this 1 cab left here that's already off, and I think I have 2 cabs out back. They're already all off. This one here he's actually paid for. He paid for it quite a while back. And then the orange one he paid for a while back as well. This truck here, I parked it right where it's sitting. Right here, I backed it into this spot. Runs and drives good. The brakes kind of work, but not really. I was going to use it, but then he bought the cab and front clip, so that never happened. This one here is a pretty rust-free truck. There is minimal rust in this truck. The only issue is that somebody painted this ugly brown color. And it runs and drives perfect. It's got a 283 in it, and I mean, there might be a 327. I can't remember now, but it's a V8, whatever it is. And it runs absolutely perfect. Fires right up. I have started this thing a million times, and right now it's been sitting for probably 5 months. I could come out here with a battery put in it and it would fire right up. Don't even have to prime the carburetor. I mean, that's a good running engine. So I'll be sure to sell that once we get the cab and front clip off. He's seen this truck before, but today he was in the mood to buy, so he saw it again. He says, you know, that's pretty solid old cab. And I said, yeah, it's just ugly brown. He says, well, I can get past the color. I want to buy it because it's so nice. So he bought it. Here's the chassis out of that 55 big window truck. And it's 235 under the hood. Turns good still. We pulled the fan off so we could get the core support out without snagging anything. Still turns good, so I'll try to find something here in a minute before I leave and cover that up so it doesn't get rained in. But Sean wants the engine, so when he has a little bit more time, he's going to come back and we'll pull this out of here. This truck here, he's buying the cab and the front clip off of this one, just because it kind of matches and it's all the same color. Good rat rod material right here. It's got a little bit of rust on the floor, but other than that, it's not that bad. It's just a lot of surface rust on this one. So he's going to come get it probably on the next trip. I don't know when he's going to be back, maybe in 3 weeks or so. That's the guess. He's buying this old 46 Ford cab. This is a pretty solid cab. You guys may remember if you watch my videos, I pulled that off last either early spring or late winter. I sold the nose off of it for a wall hanger, and since I already had the truck up in the air, I went ahead and pulled the cab off as well. Pretty solid cab, so I'm definitely glad to see it go to a good home. This one here, he's buying the cab off it. He's not buying the front clip on this one. It's pretty crunched in. That'll make a good wall hanger. Just got to put some headlights in it. So I'm just going to pull the cab off of that one. He bought this cab here. I just got to pull the fenders off, what's left of them anyway. That's another one that I cut the nose off of. So I just went ahead and pulled the whole cab off. But he wants this cab here, so we're going to go ahead and knock the fenders off and send it on to a new home. This one here, he's just buying the cab off of it. It's a little on the rough side, but it just has a good look to it with that visor and the horns on it. So he thinks he can flip it, sell it to somebody. So I gave him a pretty good deal since he was buying so much from me. But once again, he did not want the front clip, so that'll be another good wall hanger. And then last in this area, at least, is this truck right here. He wants to buy the cab off of it, and this is one we've already sold the nose off of. This cab's actually pretty solid. It's got just a little bit of rust, but it's not beat up anywhere hardly. And the only issue with this one here is that all the windows are knocked out of it. But really, the cab itself is in pretty good condition. I think that's a 48, if I remember right. Maybe a 47, I can't remember. That truck over there is really rusty and really beat up, so he was not interested in that cab. And same thing with that other old Chevy back there. I guess that's a GMC. That one's actually been close to a fire, so it's really rusty. The whole floor is rusted and gone. So he was not interested in those. This old GMC here, he just wants the doors off of it. The cab is super, super rusty. So we're just going to chop that one up for art. The back of the cab and the nose will sell good. That's actually got a 248 in it that still turns, and it would probably run with just a little bit of tinkering. This 58 here, he got the emblems off of it today while he was here, but he just wants to buy the cab on this one. He thought about the front clip, but it's really mingled up over there. And so he said, would you take less money for it? And I said, well, I really can't, because this is a premium nose for wall hanger. So I said, I can't take any less for the nose, because he offered me $300 for it. And I said, no, I can't do that. I appreciate the offer, but I just can't do it. The blue International back here, he paid for that one a while back, but he's buying the cab and the front clip off of that one as well. Let's see here, what else is there? Oh, this green truck over here. I think this is another GMC, if I remember right. Yeah, GMC. Once again, it is super, super rusty. But he wants the doors off of it because they're halfway decent still. They're not rusted out, just have a few dents in them. So he's going to get those off of it. And then we're going to chop the back of the cab off for wall art. And I'll probably go ahead and scrap what's left of this one. Here's the 348 truck. He bought this one here. The cab and the front clip on this one. Not the motor, obviously, but just the cab and the front clip. This is the one that cab is just so nice. But the doors are just completely trashed. And then the front clip's a little beat up as well. But that'll make him a good truck to sell to somebody. He takes all these trucks back out east where everything rusts to nothing, and I wish more people would do this, but he's one of the few people I know that do this, where he comes in here and buys in large quantity from me and pays me a fair price. I give him a fair deal on everything, and then he takes them back out east and sells them for full retail out there. And he does it all the time, makes good money at it. And I have tried to convince people to do the same thing with other types of vehicles, but nobody else wants to do it, I guess. And we worked out a deal on both of these cabs and front clips. That's a pretty good deal. I just got these yesterday and I sold them today, so I wish I could do that all the time. Now obviously I'm not going to get rid of these for a while. It'll probably be, if he comes back and gets some of those other cabs next time, it may be later this year before he comes and gets these. He looked at this truck here briefly, but he's just really not big on this era of truck. He likes the next generation and newer. That's the main ones he likes, is actually that body style and then your late 50s. He was just, for whatever reason, he's not too big on these. This truck here is actually pretty nice other than right above the windshield, but he didn't even ask for a price on it. This one here, I don't know why he didn't want the front clip. He bought the cab off of it, but he wasn't interested in the cab and clip. I don't know if it doesn't have enough color for him or what the deal was, but that'll sell for wall hanger really good. The truck next to it, that cab is the one that somebody cut the back of the cab off and put another cab on it, so it's all butchered up. So that one's just going to be pure wall art there. He wasn't interested at all at that one, which I wouldn't have been either for what he does. He doesn't mess with wall art. He just sells buildable stuff. This old truck here, he's buying the cab and clip off of it as well. We'll get that off one of these days. And then this Chevy back here, once again, was just too rough for him. So we'll chop that one up for art. Got a few more over here. This old International over here, I actually sold to one of my YouTube subscribers that watches my videos. He saw that truck and fell in love with it and asked me for a price. I told him a price, so he looked at the video, saw where I showed it. And it's like I said in that video, it's pretty good condition. I even have a title to it. So he sent me the money. He's supposed to come pick it up either later this month or next month. This old 55, I have a title to it. It runs and drives perfect, but it is just beat all to pieces. So he wasn't interested in it, and that's okay. That'll be a good wall hanger right there. He did buy my GMC though, this 58 or 59 GMC. He bought it, the cab and the front clip. He really liked it. And then this old International here, he fell in love with that truck too, and so he went ahead and bought it from me. And then this old 36 International here, I've had a ton of people on YouTube message me, email me, whatever, and say they want to buy this cab off. Here, this is the one that has the cab that rolls down, or the window I mean, that rolls down. But nobody's ever sent me any money. I've sent pictures to a million people and everybody says they want it, and they'll let me know when they can get it, but nobody has. So it's paid for and sold now. And then this old 5-window cab, he wants it, but I had another guy really wanting it. And that guy, his dad's been really sick lately, and he was supposed to come get it a month ago, but I know he's been really busy taking care of his dad. His dad's pretty old and has the beginning stages of dementia. So I hate to sell it out from under that guy while his dad's sick. So I need to wait until I get a hold of him and see if he still wants it. If he doesn't want it, then I'll go ahead and sell it to the guy that was here today. But if not, I'll go ahead and hang on to that for the other guy. And last but not least, he bought this old 60 Chevy. He's seen this one before, but he just didn't know. He always said, I'm going to think about it. I want to think about it. Well, today he was in the mood to buy it. So he bought it. That's another one there that I think would run with just a little bit of tinkering. I was hoping somebody would buy the whole truck, but nobody did. So we're going to pop the cab and front clip off of it and probably scrap the rest of it. I had a ton of people interested in this thing, but this one and the blue one up front, but just nobody came through on them. I had one guy that was really interested in buying both of them, and I think he was going to buy them. But on Facebook, on Messenger, when you message somebody, especially like a page, like my Adventures Made from Scratch page on Facebook, he would message me on there. Well, there's some standard options. I wish Facebook would just get rid of them. But things like, can you tell me more about yourself? And where are you located? Things like that. And if you're not paying attention, sometimes if you're fat-fingered, you can hit those buttons without realizing it. And he did. He messaged me, where are you located? Can you tell me more about yourself? And just all these automatic generated messages. And he didn't realize that he had sent them. And so he thought I had sent them to him. And he says, man, why are you asking me all these questions? You're weird. And I said, I didn't send you those questions. You sent me those questions. I said, you probably just did it on accident. And he said, well, I don't know. This whole situation seems weird to me. So I think I'm going to back out on the deal. So he backed out on the deal. And it wasn't even my fault. It was all him, but that's okay. I didn't argue with him. I sold the water heater out of the house. So I'm going to go up there now and help him get that out of the basement. This is kind of a sneak preview of one of my other videos. I actually filmed the first half of this video yesterday, but I ran out of time. My kids wanted to go to Wichita and do something fun. So we went and did that, went to the zoo. So I never had time to finish the video, but I'm going to come back out here probably next weekend and finish the video. There's a lot of cool stuff going on around here. In amongst the busy day of pulling cabs and selling trucks and stuff like that, I bought quite a few converters. I've got and copper radiators too. I got all these radiators here, got a bunch of converters, got one big diesel there. I don't think I've shown you guys these. This is an old Edelbrock Torker intake. This is for the old style V8 Chevy. Pretty old one there. And then this here is off of a 57, if I remember right. 57 Chevy V8, like Corvette, Impala, that sort of stuff. It was in the scrap. I just couldn't see scrapping it, so I went ahead and saved it. But I got all this loaded up, so I think I'm about to head out. I've got a few pieces here that sold on eBay. This lot of motorcycle license plates are going to the United Kingdom. This is going to Missouri, this girl plate. And then this TBI, I forget where that's going, but it's going somewhere. And then I've got a stack of hubcaps to ship as well. And one more thing, I can't remember what it was, but it's at the other yard. But today was definitely a good day. I did the math, and actually I was wrong. Whatever I said earlier was inaccurate. I sold 27 trucks and or cabs today. I think that's the most I've ever sold in one day, ever, by far. I mean, other than crushing cars. Obviously, when I'm crushing cars, I've sold a lot more than that in a day. A lot more than that. But as far as actual nice vehicles, or antique vehicles, I don't think I've ever sold quite that many. He's bought a lot from me in the past, but usually it's like 8 or 9, sometimes maybe 10 at a time, but never 27. So that's a pretty good day. And I definitely needed it because I have spent a lot of money on buying these old farm trucks lately, and bank account was getting a little bit thin. It was getting down there pretty good. So that'll help replenish the stock. That way I can keep going out and buying more random old junk that I probably don't need, but maybe somebody else will need it so I can flip it. Check out this nest. Now I just bought this from Skylar like a week and a half ago, this visor, and laid it here. So something built this nest in that amount of time. I'm guessing it was some sort of bird, because it's got a little hole over here on this side where something can go in it, but there's no rat turds everywhere. If it was a rat nest, there would be rat turds everywhere, because those things are nasty. And rats don't usually build nests up on top in the open like this. They would build it up against a tree or inside a car. So I'm guessing this is some sort of bird built this, or maybe a squirrel. It could have been a squirrel now that I think about it, but I don't see anything in it now, but it's not hurting anything right there, so I'm just going to leave it right where it's at. Whatever made this though, it really weaved all this stuff together pretty good. It's pretty solid. And here's the other item that I forgot. I knew that somebody had bought something, I couldn't quite remember what it was, but it was this pile of hooks right here. I sell those quite a bit for arts and crafts. I used to sell a lot of them. Not so much anymore, but they do still sell. With that, I am completely done for the day. I am about worn out. It has been a hot, dirty, dusty day of crawling around underneath those trucks. But like I said, it was a great day. I hope you guys enjoyed this video, getting to see some trucks that actually got saved. Like I said, some of those noses are going to get chopped up for wall art, but all the cabs are getting saved and they'll get repurposed, and they'll probably wind up on trucks at some point in time that people are actually driving. And if you did enjoy it, please give me a thumbs up. Please consider subscribing if you haven't already. I like to post videos like this. I post crushing car videos. I post looking at old farm cleanup videos, abandoned place videos. You just never know what I'm going to post next. So I try to post a variety. As always, I hope you have an absolutely fantastic rest of your day. And remember to get out there and find an adventure. We'll see you next time.